or texted me on a Friday, asked if I had any. And I said, yeah, actually, I got a couple units in stock. He's like, oh, really? Everybody else told me 6 to 8 weeks. I go, no, I can literally come tomorrow. I sold that at 10:30 at night, sitting in my recliner.
Happy Wednesday, Skid Steer Nation. It is your host, Ryan Deemer, and today I am joined by actually a friend of mine, Matt Wolcott. He is Wolcott Outdoor Services. He's located in Tennessee, and he's added a little twist to his business. I can't wait to dig into that with him and share the story with him. Before we introduce Matt to the show, I do want to remind all of you, though, that this show is brought to you by none other than skidsteernation.com. So if you are looking for the right attachment to help you grow your return on investment, save more money, make more profits, you need the right tools. Those tools are available for you at skidsteernation.com. They're all American made and shipped directly to your door. And gentlemen, marketing, it's a bear. It's a necessity. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it can be a pain in the arse. That's why we created Throttled Up Marketing, to help you grow your business so that you can focus on the tasks you do well, which is the work and customer service. Let us handle the marketing services for you. Link will be in the show notes. Schedule a call. You'll talk to me. Worst case scenario, we have a great conversation, and I guarantee you take something away and become a better business owner after that call. All right, enough of the ad rolls. Matt Wolcott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah, you've been a little nervous to do this. I had to talk you into this one.
I don't know why I'm not now. It was just a buildup, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But yeah, you've got a pretty cool story, man. Like I wouldn't say New York City, but you're a New Yorker. I don't know I know people in New York hate saying called New Yorker. Yeah, Western New York. Yeah, and then you ended up in Tennessee, and now you started a land service business. What were you truck driving before that?
No, I've always been in excavation, primarily pipe and site work.
Okay. And then just last year you took off on your own?
Yeah, I started the business about a year ago now, and just worked part-time up until this past December 1st was the first day I was full-time on my own.
Yeah. How was that, starting a business in an area that you're not new to, but it's not some place you grew up? Was it difficult?
I was really scared at first because being the new guy, the out-of-towner, I figured I would not be welcomed, but I was, very much so. It took, I don't know, maybe I think from the time I bought my machine till I actually got paid to do something with it was maybe a month and a half. And then once I had video and stuff like that to post on social media, it just kept going and going and going and going. But yeah, it was a slow start for sure.
Yeah. And I think a lot of guys do that, right? It's the idea of owning your own business, doing the services, sounds great. And then you do it and you're like, shit, there's a lot more to it than just saying I'm open.
Yeah, absolutely. I lettered everything up right away. I put decals and everything. I had T-shirts made, hats made. I was working for Pepsi full time, delivering, just because I needed a job when I first got here, and I wore Wolcott Outdoor Service shirts everywhere I went. I never, ever wore anything else. I used to get yelled at by my supervisors for not wearing Pepsi gear when I was out working. I'm like, I'm not going to. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, man. I've talked to a lot of guys, and the ones that have that explosive growth have that same mindset. Like, I don't care if I'm going to the gym, the grocery store, church. Like, I'm going to be wearing my things. I'm going to have my cards. I'm going to talk to at least 2 people while I'm there. Because online presence is good, but nothing beats face-to-face.
Yeah, that was another big thing. So being a delivery driver at Pepsi, I was at every single gas station for miles and miles and miles around my home. And I literally put business cards everywhere. I handed them to everyone. I mean, every gas station in half of Tennessee has got my business cards in it somewhere. And then even the smaller stores that had, say, the bulletin boards, I would stick them up there. And the more seeds you plant, the more likely they're going to grow. So,
yeah. And, we were talking actually a couple of days ago, or might have even been this morning too, when we were chatting. But one of the things that you really pride yourself on, and I don't think you have to work hard at, it's just who you are, but it's always answering the phone, always calling people back, and responding to messages in a very quick manner when you have the ability to. And I feel like that's something a lot of guys today, like, I'll get around to it. I'll call them when I'm done working for the day. And it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I stop what I'm doing every single time, but I answer the phone 95% of the time right away. And if I have a missed call, I call them back. I don't know if it's a telemarketer or what it is. I call back, and more times than not, it's a person who was trying to get a hold of me and they just never left a voicemail. So had I not called them back, they probably would have called the next guy in line.
Yeah. And then you like to show up for estimates a little early, right? And it kind of shocks some of the customers.
I am the most punctual person you'll ever meet. If I'm late, if I tell you I'm going to be there and I'm late, then send out the posse. Something happened. Because I'm never late. It drives my wife nuts sometimes. We'll go to family parties or stuff like that, and we'll show up a half an hour early, and of course nobody's there. But that's just, I've always been that way.
You sound just like Tracy. She's the same way. We'll have dinner at 5 o'clock at a family's house, 10 minutes away, and it'll be 4:15. She's like, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "It's 10 minutes away."
Yeah, I'm not as early as I want. Kids slowed me down a little bit, but I still make it a point to be on time. But yeah, the kids have definitely put a damper on things. I'm not a half an hour early anymore. Now I'm like 15 minutes early.
Yeah. When you started the business, like, you kind of found a little bit of a niche to kind of specialize in. You were the guy that was willing to take on the difficult terrain to do clearing and mulching. And
yeah, that was something I thought I put a lot of thought into. I wanted a machine. I'm like, at first I thought I'll buy a skid steer because there's, as you know, 8 million attachments you can put on it. I mean, there's pretty much nothing you can't do with a skid steer in some way, shape, or form. But with COVID, every single Tom, Dick, and Harry bought a skid steer. So I'm like, well, I'd rather be in an excavator anyways. So I bought the Mini, and then, I don't know, I think I was watching some videos or something is how the mower thing came up. I think I was watching videos on YouTube or something. I'm like, damn, that's a good idea. No, I've never seen one. I've never been driving around and seen a guy mowing a pond bank or, anything with an excavator. So I'm like, well, it's cheap enough. If it doesn't pan out, I'm not out tens of thousands of dollars on a skid steer and a mulching head. So I just did it. And once I had some content to post with that thing, which the content that I posted to get started was at my house.
Perfect.
The day I brought it home, I put it on, I went out, I set up the camera, I put one on the windshield of the machine and just went to town, and then gave it all to my wife and said, put this everywhere. And before you know it, I was the guy with the excavator mower.
Yeah. So you would, people would call you and say, "Hey, I talked to a contractor. They said they can't access this area to get done what I want." And you're like, "I got it."
A lot of the ones that first contacted me had guys with skid steers come and do work and said that they could handle the job, and then left half of it because they couldn't reach it, couldn't get to it, so they would call me to come clean it up. I did a lot of that when I first started. It hasn't been so bad lately, but when I first started, there was a lot of that.
Yeah. Huh. Are you still doing a lot of excavation services now? And the reason I asked this question, just for context to the guys listening, this winter, Matt called me. He's like, "Hey, I got this opportunity to start selling storm shelters." And if anyone knows Tennessee, they get 20, 30 tornadoes annually through that region. And he was, yeah. So he's like, "I think I want to start offering these and selling them, because then I could also do the install, the site pad work. It would create more work for the excavation, and we can make a profit on these shelters." So has it even been 6 weeks?
No, I don't think so.
And you've already sold 15 storm shelters. The phone won't stop ringing for them. We put ads out across central Tennessee, and it's just been bananas.
Yeah, I can't even count all the people that have contacted me about them, but a lot of people do it out of, they're like scared, and it sounds like a really good idea. And then they find out how much it is. And then I think that's kind of the killer usually. But yeah, it's been wild. That I've been selling and setting them ever since my first ones hit the ground. So,
yeah. How has that changed your approach to doing other services? Are you not as focused, and if people call, you'll take care of it, or you'll estimate it, or are you as aggressive looking for that work?
I've got a little pickier because, as you know, I'm trying to niche down to just the mowing stuff anyways, get away from the retaining walls and drainage. I'll always probably do that, even though if I just being in land services, people call you for that stuff anyways. So I may not advertise for it, but I'll still do that type of work. But I've become a little bit more picky on what I do. Before I was just anything that I could make a buck, I would just go do it. And now if it's not quite in my, realm of work, I just pass it on. I've made some connections in the last few months with some other local guys that I watch Facebook a lot, obviously, and see what they're doing. So you kind of find out who the popular guys are, and just from their work and stuff, you can kind of figure out who's who and what's what. And then I connected with the ones that I felt were possibly good to partner up with. And if I get a big mulching job that's too much for a mini and an excavator and a mower, I just pass it along to him. And he's passed a couple back my way. So that way I'm always giving the people a solution to their problem. I'm not, I don't do that. Sorry. I'm like, I don't do it. Call this guy. He does.
Yep.
So it's worked.
I think it does work well. And like we preach it. If people listen to the show a lot, like I can't tell you how many times I've talked about that, but you are not in the service business. You are in the solution business, and people are calling you and say a problem.
I heard it straight from you when I first started watching your podcast.
I'm telling you. And if you solve their problem, whether it's you or another contractor, they're going to hold you in high regard.
Yep. And actually, I passed a job on to somebody else, and then the guy needed a job again, and he called me back again, and I went and did that. I wasn't fit for the one job he needed, but he called me back for the next one. And I assume that's because I helped him out on that one, regardless of doing anything. I gave him a solution.
Yep, I agree 100%, man. So these storm shelters, like it's gone haywire since you started offering them. We put them on the website. I helped your wife make some ads on Facebook. Your cost per conversation conversion on those, I don't know if it's time of year because the storms are rolling through or what, but it's the cheapest damn ads.
I think that's a lot of it.
It's the cheapest cost for an ads I've seen in a long time on Facebook. And we were spending $10 a day, and after $54 of ad spend, there was 22 conversations started from that ad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. It was insane. It's like less than $3.
There was a lot of other conversations that weren't even like they came from that ad, but they called me or they called the number, text me, or, I had a few like that. I sold one in the middle of the night here like a week ago. Guy texted me and I just so happened to be still awake, and I got right back to him and he called me on a Friday or texted me on a Friday, asked if I had any. And I said, yeah, actually I got a couple units in stock. And, he's like, oh really? Everybody else told me 6 to 8 weeks. I go, no, I can literally come tomorrow. And he goes, well, I won't be there tomorrow, but I'll be there Monday. So we went Monday and installed it for him. I sold that at 10:30 at night.
That's wild.
In my recliner.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? When you can make money in the recliner.
There was a lot of people that thought it was a harebrained idea when I first started, but we got hit by a tornado here within, it went right over top of our house. We didn't have any damage there, but it sat back down in Clark Range and then Deer Lodge, which as this crow flies is only a mile from my shop. So it hit close to home. That's what really got me wondering. And I just simply went on to one of the sites and sent him a thing to call me. The guy called me the next day, and it's been an awesome relationship right from there. Everything's been super smooth.
Yeah, because I remember you called me and you're like, hey, I think I'm going to offer these storm shelters. And I loved it because everyone, like anyone, like we talked about, right? Anyone can mow a pond. Anyone can do this. Like, how else can we provide solutions that can generate revenue? Like, when you sell that, you're not done. You've still got to go build the pad or install it. So it's generating more revenue in just the sale of the shelter. Yep. You know, and again, it's the guys in the septic business. Mason out in Oklahoma, he's got a process where he upsells every system, whether it be on technology for sensors or the pump size, or, I mean, he's just found a way to be like, hey, if we can get an extra $50, $100, $500 out of every system, what does that do to the bottom line at the end of the year?
Yep. Well, what's really helped too is some of these, they're not such a big thing in Tennessee because of the rock, but the underground shelters, there is nobody else for Survive a Storm or a lot of the other ones that even have equipment to bury them. You got to get a hold of a septic guy or a drainage guy. You know, you can order it, they'll deliver it, but then you got to have somebody. I'm a one-stop shop. If they need a concrete pad, I dig it. I'm going to prep one tomorrow morning, 2.5 hours from here. It's just a small one, but I'm going to do that. And then, you know, if you call me for a storm shelter, you will get one way or another. Anything you need, I can do it.
Yeah. As a byproduct of this new product and kind of a little bit of a shift in business, the problems that you had as a business owner have shifted, and now you've got new problems. And you were telling me that it's like your wife helps you out with the QuickBooks and your CRM and getting all that done. And she's been feeling the heat the last few weeks because of all these changes.
Well, the heat's always been there. It's just, you know, when it first started, it was trying to get work. And then it went, you know, not having the right equipment. So I would, you know, buy some more equipment. And then now the phone's almost ringing. I don't want to say too much, but some days it is. It's ringing too much. And I don't like to miss a call. So, you know, I have to take time out to answer. And now with the shelter thing, not everybody has cash to buy something. You can finance anything anymore. It doesn't matter what it is. You can finance a $5 item on Amazon through a firm if you want to. Yep. So I got to thinking, well, I probably should offer something. So we started first with credit cards, which was I gained 2 sales just by that. And then the financing just literally went into effect yesterday. I haven't had anybody. I've sent one leak, but I don't know if they've even filled it out yet. But I've had a lot of people ask about it. So just merging all that stuff together. And she just got QuickBooks figured out. And then I went and merged my Mark8 app with QuickBooks and then threw in the credit card thing and now the financing thing. So she's just like, oh my God, what the hell am I supposed to do with all this? Because she's a respiratory therapist by trade. So she's not a computer business, nothing. This is all.
And she's a mother, full-time worker, and she's helping you on the side. So
yeah, she's very busy. She runs the kids all over the place. She does their schooling. We homeschool the boys, and she works she's part-time, but she works a full-time job. Full-time plus. Usually has overtime every week.
Yeah, so, it just goes to show you that saying was true. Behind every good man stands a great woman.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I'd be up a creek without a paddle if it wasn't for her. We were joking about it last night. She's like, what would you do if you didn't have me to do this? I go, honestly, I would probably just only do cash jobs and that's it. I don't know what else I would do. I would just say, hey, it's cash or nothing. I don't know what to tell you. Because
that's hilarious.
There's a lot to it. And I just let her do it. I answer the questions that she has for me, and we battle it out a lot, but I wouldn't trade her for anything. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys find time, whether it be during the day or the evening or weekends, that you can disconnect from the business and just be husband and wife?
No, but we talk about it. We need to. The biggest problem was, moving here and not knowing anybody, not having any friends, not having any family, was childcare. So there was never no alone time. It was non-existent. Just recently, in the last month or so, we've got 2 awesome girls that now watch the kids. So we will be doing that more often now. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you don't make a cognitive effort to do that and schedule it and make sure that you're creating that time, like a year will go by and you'll be like, shit, we haven't done anything together.
Yeah,
it's just,
and as not just me and her, but as a family, we love to ride side by side. We love to travel. So I just tell her, book it, put it in the calendar, and then I just won't book anything for those days. I'm not greedy. I don't need to work 7 days a week. As long as the bills are paid, there's food on the table, everybody's happy, I'm happy. And we've got, and that we have family coming down all the time. I'll take the day off, 2 days off, and just show them around. I just did that this week. Next week I've got family in town, and then in May I'm going to Kentucky riding for 4 or 5 days. So if you don't plan the stuff, it'll never happen.
I agree 100%.
My boys are 4 and 6 now. It feels like they literally just came out of the womb yesterday. It goes by super fast, and before you know it, they're not going to want a damn thing to do with me. They'll be gone. So I'm going to take advantage of every minute I get with them while I have it.
Yeah. You're the center of their world till they're about 12 or 13.
Yeah, exactly. So we're already halfway there with one. He's 6. So
yeah,
we make it a point to have family time. That is for sure. That's very important to me.
Yeah. I know I need to schedule personal time in advance, and like I've got a fishing trip scheduled the end of April. We've got a trip to Nashville in May. But if you don't schedule, let me
know when you're here. I'm only an hour and 20 minutes away.
Only an hour. If you don't schedule that personal time in advance and work around it, you'll always find a reason not to do it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, we'll do it next week. Oh, we'll go next month. Well, next month leads to next year, which leads to never.
Yeah. We went to Florida in February with our friends, and, it was a terrible time for me to go because we, throttled up marketing, was only a few months old. We brought in a ton of clients early. We were kind of all over the place, hiring staff and trying to get work done. But guess what? I worked for 30 to 60 minutes a morning before we went out for the day, and nothing fell apart.
Yep. Yeah, the work will be here when you get back. You're not going to, taking a couple days off isn't going to kill you. I've got buddies that, they just work nonstop, and they're like, oh, I don't have no time to do this. I don't have no time to do that. You ask them to go riding. Nah, I don't have time. I'm like, you do though. You just need to make it.
Well, and when it comes down to, and this is my perspective, and it's kind of blunt and direct. You have time for anything you make a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when people tell me I don't have time to do that, I said, cool, I get it. It's not a priority to you. And they're like, what do you mean it's not a priority? And I'm like, well, obviously it's not, because if it was a priority, you'd be making time to do it.
100%. Yep.
But they don't like that. They don't like that look in the mirror to realize that, like, shit, he's calling me out that it's not a priority. I'm like,
I call people out on it all the time.
Yeah. They really don't like it when they ask me to do something. I'm like, no, it's not a priority for me. And they're like, that's kind of a dick comment. I'm like, well, it's truthful is what it is. I don't know. You want me to lie and tell you I don't have time for it? What do you want to hear? Oh man. So yeah, again, you talked about homeschooling your kids. So there's a lot of days that you'll have one or both the boys with you, right?
Yeah. Any chance I get, They're pretty busy now because they're signed up into different co-ops and they have different sports and stuff they do. But yeah, any chance I get, they're with me. They go with me. As long as it's a job that's safe to take your children on, obviously. Yeah. They don't go with me when I'm mowing with an excavator. But yeah, if I'm doing a storm shelter or it's just an estimate day or, retaining walls, they'll go with me and I show them the ropes and, it's mostly Gannon, the older one. He's 6. My youngest boy, he don't stray too far from his mama. But, my 6-year-old, yeah, it's crazy because he wants to do so much and he knows how to do so much, but he's limited because he's 42 pounds.
Right.
So there's a lot of things he just can't do because he simply can't move it.
Does he get aggravated?
He gets very aggravated. He always says, I just wish I was bigger or I wish I was heavier. I'm like, no, you don't. Just enjoy it now because all of a sudden one day you're going to be like, what the hell? So
yeah, my nephew and he was probably 5 or 6, same situation, real skinny kid, right? 40 pounds or so. Mm-hmm. Wasn't heavy enough to register the tractor seat that there was a person sitting on it.
That's the problem we have with Gannon.
So one day, next thing you know, you see the tractor going across the yard and he's sitting on it. I'm like, well, how the hell did that happen? He took a bag of topsoil and finagled that thing over and he set it on the seat and then he sat on top of it. Like he figured it out.
Yeah, I had a skid steer at the house and if he would sit back and plop down hard on the seat, he could get everything unlocked and to go. But then to drive, he would have to lean forward so it would stop. And then he ended up locking himself inside the skid steer because the boom was up. It was a cat, so it's got that just asinine door that opens out like a John Deere. And so the boom was up and the machine was off and he couldn't start it because it wasn't registering that he was in it. So now he's like freaking out because he's locked inside the skid steer. And I'm like, okay. So what I ended up having to do, because he just couldn't get it to reset, I had to have him turn the handles inside and I had to pull the glass out down, or no, I think I went out the top and then got him out and then got myself in, got it unlocked, put the boom down, and then, I don't know if you've ever taken a door off a cat or a John Deere skid steer with those.
Yeah.
I don't know who designed that, but he needs to be kicked in the teeth because they are a pain.
I'm a firm believer that every engineer for every manufacturer should have to spend 6 months in the field working with the equipment with guys that do it every day.
Yeah, there's so many attachments that you put on a skid steer that you can't set all the way on the ground, or say you run out of fuel or just anything stupid, you're stuck in the damn thing. I just don't get it. I won't own either of those. It'll be a Kubota or a Takeuchi because the door opens so I can get out in the event something
happens. Yeah. I feel that way about vehicles too, man. I remember when I was a kid, like you could literally sit in the wheel well and work on an engine with your dad. Like it was a huge space, small engine. And today, you can't even change an alternator without removing 19 things to get to it. You have a hard
time finding the dipstick.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Because it's buried down inside.
Yeah, I'm like, there's just some guy who's looking at like, I have this many cubic inches. How can I fill it all?
Yeah, exactly.
Wild.
Well, yeah, so he's limited just for his sheer size, but he's got so much common sense. His problem solving skills, his everything. Obviously he's my kid, so I'm going to praise him anyways, but there's not a day that goes by I'm not blown away at what he knows or can figure out, or even with the homeschooling stuff. He's technically kindergarten age and he's in first and second grade curriculum, a lot of it.
Wow.
So he can math and money. Those are two things that he is, and that's my worst. That's what I'm the worst at is math and money. Well, better now, but yeah, he's a smart little shit.
Hopefully that holds true, man, because most people that are good at math or money usually lack common sense and vice versa.
Yeah, he's got both currently, so let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's your plan for the business this year other than just getting dragged in 19 directions by adding the storm shelters?
My wife doesn't want to hear this, but I'm going to need help at some point. I'm going to just do what I got to do until I get to a point where I can justify it. I have a guy now who's a local guy that moved here from out of state that's trying to make it, and I don't want to say he's not, but he's not doing great. So he's more than willing to help me when I need him. So that's been very handy here lately. I do have a couple jobs coming up that he's actually going to do the entire job for me with my stuff. But I'll be there a little bit. But just so I can I hate to book people out like 3 months because I don't take a deposit unless there's materials involved. So if it's just mowing or will they hire somebody else? I don't know. But there's always that chance. And, I'm upfront with people when they call me. I ask them, what the scope of the work is, and I give them an idea. You're looking at 2 weeks, or you're looking at 6 weeks, or some stuff that might be out further than that. I just tell them if they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it. So.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing. Just be transparent and honest. If you can't get there for 3 months, you can't get there for 3 months.
Yeah. And then with the storm shelter thing, I can't tell those people 3 months. I just can't. It's just the nature. Middle of summer when there's not really a threat of storms, it's probably different. I can tell people, listen, it'll be 3, 4, 6 weeks possibly. But the turnaround time on them for other people doing it seems to be 6 or 8 weeks. So if I can tell them, 2 or 3 weeks, they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. So I try to, in all reality, like this morning, I went and did a storm shelter. I was loaded up, left, installed it, and come back within 3 hours. So, it's something I can do in an afternoon, or if I got to do them on a Saturday, I will. I try not to work on the weekend as a rule. I'm working this weekend only so I don't get behind because of the storms we've had. But
yeah. So
I try not to.
I find the weekends is the time, like my email doesn't go crazy, my phone's not ringing, text messages aren't coming in. So I try to carve out 1 to 4 hours on a Saturday morning to work on my business, not in my business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, my Saturdays lately have been estimates, driving around.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what my Saturdays have been. I won't do anything on a Sunday. I don't care how much money anybody has. I'm not. Sunday is, my wife does not work that day. My kids are home that is our day to do whatever. I will not work on Sunday.
Yeah. Do you take your son with you most Saturdays when you go do those estimates?
I try to, but it depends on how far I'm going because he gets bored quick. So like last 2 Saturdays ago, my first stop was 2.5 hours away. And then my second stop was an hour and a half from there. And then that put me 2 hours from home. So he didn't go that day, but I try to take him as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. That's awesome. Something else I wanted to talk to you about, because I remember this from months ago when we first met. You were talking about I think your exact words were very similar to, I got to find a way to quit doing retaining walls. Even though I know I'm young, my body just can't handle it. I've beat the shit out of myself over the years.
I've had back surgery. I've had pieces taken out. I'm literally a ticking time bomb as far as my back goes. I will have to have surgery again someday because what they did is not an end-all be-all. But I have found that the more active I am, the less my back hurts. When I took on the first big retaining wall I did down here, and the first one I did down here was 6 feet tall and 100 feet long. And I did the numbers and I'm like, holy crap, I could make a lot of money on this one job. And it was early yet. So I'm like, I was still part-time. I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I was dreading it every day up until I'm like, there's no way my back is going to handle. I don't even remember how many block it was, but It was a lot. And they're 74 pounds a piece. And I never felt better when I got done.
Huh.
Like, it was crazy. I had a buddy that worked at Pepsi as well that was helping me on this wall. Actually, he was on vacation that week. So I ended up just working it out with my boss and pretty much called in the 3 days that I was supposed to work so that we could do this whole entire retaining wall. And he's one of these gym rats, you know, he's always trying to look bigger and do this and do that. And every day on the way home, he'd be in the passenger seat, head against the window, passed out, done. Next day, he'd be, man, your forearms hurt? I'm like, no, I feel honestly great. He's like, I don't know how do you do this stuff? I'm like, I just do it. I don't know. But I've always been active. I was a framer before I was an operator, and I'm always doing things, and I come from a farm background. So,
but I remember you telling me, like, you have to either work out or stretch every morning, otherwise it's a bad day.
Yeah. Yep. I get up at 4 a.m. I go down into town, 15 minutes away to the gym. I work out for usually about 40 to 45 minutes. And then I come back home and get ready for the day. And as long as I do that, I have a gym in my basement too, but it's hard to work out in the basement when your wife and kids are sleeping upstairs. So I do that, not even to, my dad's handing me money through the window. Thank you. He was mowing my lawn today and found money in the woods. My kids. I give them money, they take it in the woods.
They take it in the woods? That's funny.
Yeah. So what the heck was I just talking about?
Working out.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, working out. Yeah, I just to keep moving. I don't get crazy. I don't try and lift heavy. I don't want to hurt myself. I just want to keep myself mobile. And knock on wood, since my back surgery, it was on my birthday almost, well, it'll be 3 years now. 3 years this May. I had emergency back surgery. They threw me in an ambulance. They rushed me to the hospital. They didn't tell me what they were doing. They were just going to fix me because I basically went numb from my belly button down.
Wow.
I herniated a disc so bad that it was pinching off my spinal cord. So they took me in on my birthday and did emergency surgery, and I didn't know what they were doing until I woke up with my buddy's wife looking over me. She was my anesthesiologist. And I'm like, okay, like, am I ever going to be able to work again? Like, am I now a disability case? Like, what'd you take out? What'd you put in? What do we got going on? And since then, I've been better. I felt better than I felt my whole life, honestly.
Wow.
So that's awesome.
That's crazy.
I thought it was the worst birthday ever, and it turned out being the best.
Isn't that what they say though, right? Like, in every terrible day turns around to be the greatest day later.
Oh, I laid in that bed, or the whole way to the hospital. I went to the hospital in one city, and they took me to another. So I had quite a long ambulance ride to get where I had to go for surgery. And the whole time I'm thinking, what in the hell am I going to do? Like, I work with my hands, my legs, machine. Like, if I can't use anything from my waist down, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
And so I was scared out of my head. And then even after I got home, I was still like, what am I going to do? And lo and behold, I was back in an excavator working in 13 days.
Holy cow.
My wife almost divorced me over that.
I bet.
I got home. I couldn't walk at all. I had to use a walker. I walked with the walker for like 2 days. I was supposed to be no bending, stretching, lifting, no riding in a vehicle, anything for 8 weeks. That was what I was supposed to do. And then I was supposed to go and do rehab after that. My wife would go to work. I would get up and I would go outside. And every day I walked a little further and a little further. And next thing you know, I was walking 3 miles down the road to my cousin's house and coming back. And finally it was like, I want to say day like 11 or 12, I called my buddy and I said, listen, tomorrow morning at 7, he doesn't work. He's a great guy.
And this was back in New York, right?
Yeah. This is back in New York. His wife's was my anesthesiologist, so he's a stay-at-home dad. So I knew he didn't have nothing going. I said, you need to come pick me up tomorrow morning. I hadn't left the house other than walking down the road in like 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, whatever it was. So he's like, all right. So he came and got me, and we went out and we toured around, and I'm like, man, I feel pretty good. So I called my cousin. That's who I was working for at the time. He has cemetery business. And I said, hey, I'm coming back to work tomorrow. He's like, does your wife know? I'm like, no, I'm going to tell her when she gets home. So she got home. I told her I'm going to work tomorrow. She's like, no, you're not. I said, I've already got it figured out because my cousin in New York owns a cemetery business. He services like 300 and some cemeteries, does all the burials, all the foundations for the stones, setting in the stones. It's a big time deal. You know, we would dig anywhere from 2 to 8 holes a day around the state. So you had to unload an excavator on and off a trailer with big heavy ramps. So I'm like, well, my dad's retired. I said, Dad, you're coming with me. So he picked the ramps up and down. He moved the plywood, and then I did all the driving and all the digging. It worked great. I did that for like 2 weeks, and then that was it. I've been working since.
That's wild.
I went back for my 8-week checkup, and the guy's like, oh, how you feeling? I go, great. I've been back to work for 2 or 3 weeks now. And he wasn't very happy about it and gave me a whole lecture and this and that. And I haven't missed a beat since. Dude. I got lucky.
Oh, man. I broke my neck mountain biking years ago. Rode the bike out. My arm was numb. And I went home, ordered a pizza, watched football on a Sunday, woke up Monday morning, was debating between going to the hospital or the chiropractor.
Yeah.
The office manager at Do More Equipment's like, you're going to the hospital. I'm like, all right, I'll go to the hospital. And they did the X-ray, and I'm like, I can move it. It was fine. And the lady was like, you're good. And then next thing you know, they took X-rays, and she came back in. She's like, don't move. And I'm like, settle down. So I had to take an ambulance ride 1.1 miles to the other hospital because they weren't set up for that type of shit. Yep. That ambulance bill for me was $790.
Yeah, I don't even know what mine was. It was ridiculous.
I was like, that's 1 mile. Imagine those people are going to get a 50-mile ride.
Oh, yeah, then that's about what I had.
So I stay the night, do the MRIs, do all that shit. Didn't need surgery. It was going to heal on its own. They put me in that, I don't know, the cone, I call it, whatever, that neck brace.
Yeah.
And I wore that for like 5 weeks. I remodeled a room in my house during that 5-week period. After 5 weeks, I took it off. I'm like, I'm done with that thing. Went to Florida, was in a wedding. Came back, I put it on to go to the final meeting. The guy's like, you ready to lose that thing? I'm like, if I'm going to be honest with you, I lost it 3 weeks ago. I put it on just for today. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah.
I think the biggest reason people take so long to recover sometimes, and I'm not
because they don't do anything.
Right back to work. Yeah, because they don't do anything, you know. It's no different. Say you break your leg. I've never broke a leg or anything, but I know people who have, and then they can't use it. And then when it finally comes off, their leg's this big around and their other one's this big around, and they got to start over. I think just moving, staying active. I mean, I think I went I did go a little overboard. I didn't need to do everything I did, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But I think the reason I recovered so well is I never let myself get set up. I moved nonstop from the time they did the surgery till today.
Well, I think an easy way to explain that to people that haven't had an issue like that is like you have that 0 day where you're just like, I'm not doing a thing. You lay in the recliner, you watch TV for 12, 14 hours, and you go to bed and sleep for 8, 10 hours. That next morning you wake up, you're stiff as hell.
You feel like a slug. Yeah.
And
you absolutely.
And it's a byproduct of that 0 day. Right. Mm-hmm. So imagine doing that for 3 weeks in a row. Like, what do you think you're going to feel like?
Yep. There was no way I was sitting in a recliner in my living room for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
No way in hell. Unless somebody cut my legs off. Not happening.
Yeah. I mean, I got pictures of me painting things and hanging stuff up, wearing this stupid fucking cone. And then the guy's like, is your ride out there to take you home? And I'm like, what do you mean? I drove here. He's like, you're not supposed to be driving. I'm like, well, nobody ever told me that. I've been driving since the day I left the hospital. He was just like,
yeah.
I was like,
just can't look out the side window.
Yeah, it's a weird turn, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you just gotta keep on chugging in anything. I mean, in business, in life, in injury, just keep pushing forward. And
yeah. And I mean, I was almost 40 years old when that happened, late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, I was in my late 30s. And he's like, so you giving up mountain biking? I'm like, no, we're actually going next week. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Talk to anybody who races a dirt bike or does anything else. They didn't quit after they broke their first leg. They kept going.
Yeah, I'd say what, breaking a collarbone might make me quit, but that's, you guys, those guys tend to break the collarbones a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, just got to keep forging forward.
Yeah.
Never look back. I'm always thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. You know, I'm never worried. I'm not worried about what happened the other day. I'm worried about what I got to get done today or tomorrow.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love when we have our phone calls or just kind of talk and text and stuff, is that you're never dwelling on the good, the bad, or the ugly from yesterday or the month before.
I don't get flustered. I mean, I really don't. Guys I used to work with are always trying to plan everything out, you know, back when I was on pipe crews and doing stuff like that. And I don't worry about something until it needs worrying about. Like, we went and set a 2,600-pound storm shelter this morning in a garage by hand. And my buddy, the whole way there, he's like, well, how are we going to do it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm still kind of thinking about it. Because the driveway was in an angle, and then you had to get in the garage. And then after I took measurements, we only had an inch to spare, so you had to go in the garage straight. And he's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, we'll figure it out. You know, I'm not worried about it. He's like, well, what if we can't get it in there? I'm like, we'll get it in there one way or another.
It's going in.
And we did. I improvised, and we set it down, and nothing got smashed. Nobody got hurt. We got it in there, and we were in and out. And he's like, what is wrong with you? Why can't, he's like, why can't we could have just brought a machine. I'm like, yeah, but a machine would have been, you know, I'd had to rent it for the day, and it would have been another $300-400. I'm like, we got it. So it took an hour to set it when it could have been done in 5 minutes, but big deal.
Right.
We got it.
Yeah.
You know, I never get flustered. At least I try not to.
I mean, getting flustered is one thing, but it's that dwelling on things. Like I tell people all the time. I mean, I've got some friends that are always thinking about yesterday or tomorrow.
It is what it is.
And I'm like, man, we have a finite number of brain power, and the amount of energy you're spending on things you can't control or don't know the outcome to, like, it's not good for you.
That's the biggest thing. There's things you have no control over. You got to just roll with it and do what you can. You know, it's like, it just is what it is. I don't know. Just figure it out as you go.
It's like, what if that tornado hits the house? I'm like, well, I guess we're meeting God today then. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I can't control. Like, I can't control it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've got some good mentors. You know, a few of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're good friends with our buddy Lee Gums. He's been on the show twice before.
I talked to Lee. I don't talk to him as much as I'd like to, honestly, but I do talk to him. He's an inspirational fella for sure.
I'll tell you what.
I love talking to Lee.
For 2 years now, I've just been like, I've never met a guy more dedicated to his regiment and who like doesn't skip the process. I asked him to send me a login information to a website so I could help set up his filters and settings for the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And for a week and a half now, I'm like, Lee, it's literally a web address and your login information. You still haven't sent it to me. He's like, I don't know why I haven't done that. And I'm like, this is the first time in 2 years that I'm like, I don't understand what the issue is here. Like,
he's got a daily regimen and he does not stray from it. Dude, 7 days a week.
He's nuts.
Not just a couple, 7 days a week.
He will literally.
He's doing 75 hard right now with his wife. I mean, that takes just to do that alone, minus the business and the computer work and the marketing and everything else that he does. Just doing that alone takes a lot of dedication, and he's compounded it with everything. Man's nuts.
We just scheduled a call for next week because he wants to start running some Google ads. Yep. It's 8 p.m. at night. I'm like, Lee, what are you doing to me? He's like, well, because he works till 5, and if it's not like a hot project, he's done at 5. Yep. And then it's family time till 7 or 8 when when the boy goes to bed, and then he goes right back to work for an hour to 2 hours, and like you can set your clock to it.
Yeah, he's an inspiration for sure. I look at what he does, and I'm like, because if I'm not mistaken, he does most of his paperwork and all that sort of stuff. Right?
He does it all at 7 to 9 p.m.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it. I'm capable of a lot of things, but if I didn't have my wife, like I said, I'd just work probably cash jobs and just call it good.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. I wouldn't be able to do it without her.
Yeah,
it's lots of props to Lee for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Ron Bilo, he was on 2 weeks ago.
He's a great guy, man.
He is an awesome guy. Yeah. Another guy, I've never met him, but I'm not even sure how in the hell we started talking. Oh, I heard him on a podcast.
Mike Greig's podcast.
And I think I reached out. I probably reached out to him or something. I'm always trying to strike up conversations with people. And I mean, there's been times where I'll do an estimate and I'm like, I just don't know if this is good or bad. And I'll send it to him and he'll be like, yeah, I mean, it looks good. He's not in my area, obviously, but he's like, by my standards, it looks good.
He's not far away. Perfect. He's just over in the Ozarks in Missouri. I mean, it's pretty similar.
And I've done the same thing with Lee, and Matt Hobbs.
Yeah.
We've kind of shared stuff back and forth, but
I think it's important I think it's important, whether it's local or outside of your service area, to find those group, whether it be 1, 2, 3 guys that you can joke with, have fun with, and rely on for their opinion. Like,
I'm not trying to brag anybody up or make anybody feel good, but honestly, if it wasn't, well, I guess you started it. I started listening to your podcast. No, I'm lying. I listened to the other one first. That's how I found Ron. And then just going through searching stuff, Skid Steer Nation popped up. So I started listening to that, and being in a Pepsi truck delivering, I had nothing better to do than listen to shit. I mean, I was on the road for hours at a time. So I literally listened to every single one of your podcasts, literally caught right up to the day. And then that's how I found out about Lee. And if it wasn't for listening to your podcast, talking to Lee, that you got it started. Then I started talking to Lee, and then I was talking to Matt at the same time. But I didn't know that Matt and Lee knew each other in any way, shape, or form. And then I got talking to one or the other, and they're like, oh, you know him? And I'm like, yeah. And then next thing you know, we got a 3-way, the Three Stooges, text message thing going. And if it wasn't for those guys, I would have, they pushed me. I would tell them what I had going on. And Lee's like, yep, sounds like it's time to go full time. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Insurance was a big hang up for a while. And then it got to the point where I'm like, I texted him, I said, I'm doing it. I'm going full time. And I never looked back. It's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Pepsi was great. It was a great place to work for somebody that was in a brand new state, because I can get just about anywhere. So I can take you to any gas station, Dollar General, Publix, Walmart. I've been to every single one of them. So I learned my way around the state, and I got paid by them to do it. And everything has just worked out great. I don't know.
That's awesome.
It's crazy how things just start to snowball and just blow up.
Yeah, so. It is. It's just, and it really just comes down to the intention of doing something for your business every day. You don't have to have it labeled out, right? But you can't have those days where you just think about things and do nothing. Like, you've got to have some intention every day, whether it be phone calls, emails, estimates.
I make it a point to reach out to somebody almost every day, whether it be a realty office, insurance, just a local business in general. The storm thing, all the meteorologists that are around, they have a following on Facebook. I just keep planting seeds, and eventually they start to sprout. So,
and it obviously works, because didn't you just drop off a bunch of storm shelters in a parking lot at a hardware store today, just so they're visible in the community?
Yep. There's a local guy he owns quite a few businesses in town, one of them being a hardware store, the other one being a KTM dealership, and some other stuff. Very well-known guy. I just reached out. It was probably, actually, I think I reached out to him when I first started the business, and then it never really went anywhere. And then I started the storm shelter thing. And I know he does a lot of stuff for like the community, and he's trying to grow the town and stuff like that and bring business back to Monterey. So I just reached out, and then we played phone tag for probably a month. And then I just happened to be rolling through town. I think it was beginning of last week. And I seen him walking out of his KTM dealership. So I whipped it right in there. And we got to talking, and he said, yeah, put some in the parking lot and give me some brochures. So we started a little referral thing. You know, if I get a sale from the hardware store, I give them a kickback. And I'm totally fine with that. And it works good because, I mean, Monterey's not very big. The hardware store, it's got a lot going on. There's people in and out of there.
It's like the barbershop, right? It's the center hub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that, not only that, it's in the center of town, like dead smack in the middle. So you got to drive by it. So they're out front. I've got one here that I'm going to take down with my logo on it. It's Survive a Storm gave it to me. It had a paint defect. So they just credited it to me and let me keep it.
You should wrap it.
I've thought about it. I honestly have thought about it. Because anytime I have them on my truck and I'm driving around, everybody's like, what is that? And they're like, oh, wow, that's, you know what I mean? So it's, I should just put it on the back of my truck and just drive around with it. I would drum up, a ton of interest. I really would. So that's been good. I haven't got a sale from the hardware store yet, but they've only been down there like a few days.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, it's better sitting in a parking lot in the middle of town than sitting in the back of your property where nobody sees them.
Nobody's going to see them at my shop on the end of a dead end road.
Yeah.
So, the more stuff I can do, and I'm always looking for places to put signs. I've got a 6x12 banner on the main road here, Route 62. I did a mowing job for a guy. He lives in Georgia. He comes and hangs out at the property periodically. And one day I'm like, hey, because I know he needs more work done. He needs a driveway put in and other stuff, and he's going to have me do it. And I said, how about we work out a deal? You let me put a sign up out front. I'll give you a break on the site work. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. So I've got to change it now. But right now there's a 6x12 banner for Wolcott Outdoor Services. And then underneath it, there's a 3-foot by 12-foot Survive a Storm Shelters authorized dealer certified installer banner under that. And you can't miss it. If you don't see it when you're driving by, you're blind. And I've got more that I'm trying to get up in other places. But yeah, everybody loves my logo. I don't know if it's just because the American flag's in it, but everybody loves it. Everybody sees it. I've got it on everything. My pickup truck is wrapped. I sent you the pictures of that. It says Survive a Storm on the side of it. And you can't miss it. I mean, it's a rolling billboard, but that's what I wanted. I'm not trying to fly under the radar. I'm trying to be right on it.
I need to have Kelsey take a picture of you, like with your arms crossed, with those glasses on or something, standing next to your truck. And then we'll use that for the thumbnail for the YouTube video, and like we'll put a tornado, we'll put a tornado in the background, like it's coming at you.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, just throwing the logos on my single axle. I've got an old 2000 International 4700 single axle. That truck got so much attention in all these little small towns. Everybody loved it and loved the logo. And then, I had people reaching out on TikTok asking if I sold swag. I'm like, I don't, but I may at some point. So we did actually have hats made, and those are for sale. And yeah, every customer gets a t-shirt. Well, usually 2, the husband and wife. Pretty much every customer I work for gets a t-shirt. And they love that. A lot of them will send me pictures wearing it. There was a guy on my Facebook page the other day. He had his hat. He bought a hat, and I gave him the shirt. And he had his stuff on. And, it's cool when you're out and you see somebody and you're like, yeah, that's my T-shirt on that guy,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I used to give out Skid Steer Nation hats and shirts to friends and stuff. And they always take a picture like when they're working out or on a boat or like, hey, your hat on.
All the guys I worked with at Pepsi, all the ones that I could tolerate anyway, they all have shirts. Anybody who helps me, the guy that helped me this morning, he has them. He wears them when he's out helping me. So we look all official. And
yep.
Yeah, it's the whole branding and all that stuff. It's a real thing because people see it, and I put my stickers on everything. Every storm shelter has a Wolcott Outdoor Services sticker on it with a name and number.
Yep.
Just keep putting it out everywhere.
Nope. Good for you, man. That's awesome. You're on the right track. This year's already blowing by what you did last year.
Oh, yeah. I look at the numbers and I'm like, holy moly. It's only, beginning of April, and I've already surpassed what I did in all of last year.
Right.
A lot of it was part-time, but I was part-time, but I was still working 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
I was working at Pepsi 4, and then I was working for myself 3+ afternoons as I would be done early. So I would go do half-day projects when I got done. So, I was working basically 2 full-time jobs to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was out like 8 weeks, and I'm like, I've got enough work now to justify just pulling the plug on Pepsi and just do this for myself. And it took me a long time to talk my wife into leaving a full-time, steady, stable job with full health benefits. That was the big hang-up, was health insurance, but it actually wasn't nearly as expensive to private pay as we had thought. So once we found that out, then it was, give it hell and don't look back.
Love it. I love it, man.
It's been a good experience.
That's awesome. Well, partner, I don't want to take up your whole day. I can't thank you enough for taking some time out, joining us on the show today, problem. Man. We talk so much, it just feels like another conversation, but
yeah, absolutely.
But it's a cool story. It's an inspiration, like from taking that plunge with a wife and kids to it's a big step, and everybody that owns a business has had to do it. And
like I said, listening to your podcast played a huge part in that, because you interviewed, I don't know how many different guys that did the same thing. They started with one machine, working on the weekends and part-time, and they were doing it. And I'm like, with my experience, I've been in a machine my entire life. I've been in a machine. I've been on some really big jobs. I've been in some really small jobs. I've been in some pretty gnarly situations. I'm like, if they can do it, and a lot of guys that you interview never had any experience doing this stuff prior to doing it. And I'm like, if somebody that had no idea what they're doing can go out and do it, why the hell can't I?
Right.
So let's just do it. That's what I did. So thanks to Skid Steer Nation podcast and a few of your more popular guests, here we are.
That's awesome, man.
Killing it. At least right now. Not storm season will slow down. We'll get there. It's seasonal, but
I think the beauty of adding those shelters for you is that there's 2 seasons for that, right? Spring and fall. And that's the 2 seasons that the mulching and the mowing and the retaining walls are slow.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect fit to keep you steady.
And now, being in the storm shelter business, I look up more stuff and see more stuff. There's a lot more uses for these things than just a tornado shelter. There's people that use them for safe rooms, all sorts of things. And so I think I'm just kind of re-gear things during the off season to hopefully, and now that I'm the central shipping point for Survive-A-Storm shelters here in Tennessee, pretty much every shelter that comes through the state is going to go through me. So that's going to be a big help, I think. I still think it's going to be a seasonal thing, obviously, but there's going to be a lot more opportunity than there was prior.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're crushing it, man. Keep rocking and rolling. I can't wait to do this next year and see where you've gone from here.
Oh, I'll hopefully be back.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You'll be back, man. You'll be back. We gotta do the update on this. So I'm looking forward to it.
I didn't give you any throttled up marketing plug.
No, I didn't bring you on for that, but appreciate it.
Oh, well, I can tell you, throttled up has definitely taken it to the next level. So
I appreciate that, man.
You've done a fine job.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. What I think the best part about the marketing business for like you guys is so many of you guys, even if you've been you've been in business 5 years. Most guys never sit down and go through what's your values, what's your mission, why do you do this, what are the core service, and like in order to build your online presence, I force you to do that, and it really gives you clarity on what you're good at, what work you want to do, where you want to go get that work, and it's a big deal. Instead of seeing, we'll build you a website, what do you want on it? Like I'm like, no, we need to figure this out.
I do not want to be a jack of all trades.
Nobody should.
I've been that way because I didn't have a choice. Work is work to get started and get money flowing.
Yep.
But now I don't want to be a jack. I want to be known as the guy that has the mower with the excavator that does all the crazy shit. That's who I want to be known as.
Yeah.
Because then people hear it and they're like, oh, I got this, that I've got a job I'm doing end of next week. He had 2 other guys come out and they said they couldn't do it. And for an excavator and a mower, it's nothing. I'm literally going to sit on the driveway and do everything I got to do. I don't even have to get on any uneven grades or anything, but I've got the reach.
That's where you get your phone out and say, hey, do you mind if I take a video of you and you can just tell me like why I'm here doing this work for you?
Yeah. I should for sure. Yeah. But so just keep grinding.
Absolutely. Speaking of the grind, man, I'm gonna let you get back to work. Guys, hope you're enjoying guys listening. I hope you're enjoying the episodes. Appreciate you guys. Make sure that you give us a review, just like you guys asked your customers. I'm asking you. We suck at giving reviews. Most of us are men. I get it. Take 30 seconds, hit the 5 stars on Spotify, write a little sentence for us on Apple, share it on a social media site. Anything you can do. If you're getting value out of this, that's all I ask in return, guys. So until next week, keep grinding.